I'm like, stop.
See,
One at a time. One at a time.
Told you, Whānau, she's out the gate. She's honest. She's straight up, mate.
Podcast. Podcast.
What's up, Vibers? Welcome to episode 11 of the BODGAST. My name is Matthew Fresh, and today a very special episode as we get to the end of Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori Language Week. Joining me in studios is a wahine who's done just amazing things. She actually works for me, so we thought it would be really fitting to have her today on the podcast. Her name is Miss Kamaea Hakaraia.
Thank you. Kia ora te whānau ko Kamaea Hakaraia tō ingoa. Heuri whakaheke tēnei no Ngāpuhi, Doids, the FFN Heart. Heuri tēnei no Ngāti Hako, no te whānau awhanui anō hoki. And no, I actually enjoy from there too. You go there a bit. Back to the coast, eh?
Yeah, all day, every day. I love the way you just jumped in there and introduced yourself. I didn't give you a chance to ask.
No, absolutely. It's a Māori ake nei thing, actually.
Hey?
You know.
Anyway.
When someone says, what's your name? It's not just what's your name, it's where you from.
Might as well throw in your address while you're at it too, huh? Are you still available, by the way?
Available? I was never available.
Oh, she was never available, Whānau.
And I never will be available.
Never will be available. So to all the tamas out there, or even tainers who are, off the market,
the market. I will always be off the market.
Love it. Anyway.
I'm on the black market. Nah, jokes.
Hey?
If you know, you know.
Hey, when the thumb goes up.
I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Oh, Miss Kamaea. Anyway, we're coming towards the end of Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori Language Week 2023. How's the week been for you thus far?
It's been lovely. Very, very lovely. Different working at Okapa Vibes. Normally I'm taking in Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori through a school is normally, my job I do. So that's normally embraced with like students and like doing stuff with kids. But no, it's been cool promoting it through the radio and just teaching lessons on the radio. It's been a different scenery this year, but it's been great. Plus we do Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori every week anyway, so it doesn't feel much different.
365
the only difference is I have an excuse to have a boil up 3 times this week.
It's funny, I haven't sort of tasted one of those boil ups yet. Hey, I thought you guys might have left me a plate or something since I was here putting in the hours, burning the midnight oil, and they just took the whole pot with them. Hey?
We did actually. We cooked up, put up at work, and we came and picked it up at 6 p.m.
I came out, was like, maybe they left me a plate. I was hoping. So, it was like that little child coming to the candy bar and there's no candy in the bar.
Well, we actually had planned to do one this Friday with everyone, but, unfortunately, everyone's just unavailable today.
Yeah, hard out. So, we'll do one this Friday, even though Māori Language Week will be finished, but we'll do one this Friday. Or sometime in the up-and-coming week anyway.
Yeah, we should.
All right, it's amazing. Today's podcast number 11, proudly brought to you by Dynasty. All right, Dynasty Clothing. Get along and check out some of the gear that they have online. They can make gear for your club, for your whānau, or for anything going on in the community. Check them out via their website, www.dynasty.co.nz. Put in vibes for a 10% discount. Booyah.
Vibes.
Oh, I like the way she does that. All right, let's focus on you, Miss Kamaea.
Me?
Tell us, where were you born?
Oh, wow. I was actually born here in Tokorua, actually.
So you're actually a Tokorokiol, eh?
Wow. I am now, apparently.
Hey? Why is it that you always talk about, Auckland, but really, you're born here in the hearts. They call it the Love Central of the North Island.
Yes, I was born here, but I left here when I was 2 years old and we moved to Tāmaki Makaurau in Auckland. And I only moved back end of 2022. So before, you don't remember anything from when you're 1 year old and 2 year old. So everything to me has just been Auckland. So I always say, I'm from Auckland. I say I was raised in Auckland.
Poor you.
No.
Why would you want to be a Jaffa?
Not everyone there is a Jaffa.
Hey?
And there's actually some good things to being a Jaffa.
Give me 5 good things, Miss Kamaea, about being a Jaffa.
The opportunities that come with being a Jaffa. This is a hard question, actually.
That's
one. Yeah,
See?
that's it.
You can't even give me 5 things.
No one
5
really
positive
wants to be a
things.
Jaffa.
Hey? Give me 5 negative things about being a Jaffa.
Is that everyone calls you a Jaffa?
Hey? There's one. Stuck up.
No.
Sun shines
Not
out of your
all,
ass.
Not all.
Should we just carry on?
Carry on. I want to hear. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, anyway, I won't do that because I've got plenty of, I don't want to offend you because,
No offense.
you are, Auckland Central. So, Jaffa Land, you grew up in Jaffa Land, Auckland.
I did.
South, West, East, Central?
Central all day, Mount Roskill.
Mount Roskill, eh?
Yeah, 1041.
Wow, 1041 even. Did you go to school there?
I went to Kurikaupapa Māori, Aho Matua School, Maungarongo, which was, in Central Auckland. And then I ended up going to the local school, actually, called Weasley Primary. And around our neighbourhood in Mount Roskill was like full of Tongans and Samoans, Somalians. So when we went to school, me and my cousin were the only like Māoris there. And it was like probably one of my favourite years of my life, actually.
So did you call yourself a Māori Somalian?
No, a Māori Tongan.
What's wrong with a Māori Somalian?
It's just not what I would call myself. But honestly, like I had all the Tongan mates, and I would go to church with them at the end of the year, and I used to think church was so boring, Māori church. Before I went to church with them, like they do full on Sunday school and sing gospel songs, and when we go to church we just go there. It's 1 hour service, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. But no, they do full on like class. It's like way more fun while the parents stay in the main church, and the kids go do like the cool activities and learn about it the fun kid way.
Like it. Give me a couple of things you remember about your childhood. A couple of really cool things you remember about your childhood.
I was never walking. I was always on a bike. When the street lights would turn off, that means you had to go home. What else? And just my naughty days. I was a naughty kid back then. Yeah.
What's the naughtiest thing you did as a kid? Can you remember? Can you share us a couple of those things for all the millions and millions of viewers watching our podcast?
I think getting kicked out of... I didn't get kicked out of school. I got stood down, but I got kicked out of a kapa haka competition, which was very unfortunate because we were...
How do you get kicked out of a kapa haka competition? That sounds like something that is very impossible to do.
Just doing things at school that you shouldn't be doing. Especially in the bathroom and there's
Kōrero mai.
Just smoking that good stuff or whatever. Not allowed.
That good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think they had any good stuff in Auckland Central.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Oh, wow.
That black market again.
Hey? That black market again. Hey, so you sound like you're a bit of a wow, I don't
rebel.
I was going to say rebel, but I don't want to sort of sound gang affiliated. But
no, she's a bit of a rebel, but I'm a changed woman now, especially since I moved to Tokoroa. I tell you.
How has life changed for you since you've moved to Tokoroa?
My priorities are a lot better. My drinking actually is next to none, which is like so good. Every time I go back to Auckland and everyone has a drink, they're like, "Fa, you're not drinking." I'm like, "Nah, don't feel like," and it's just such a shock to everyone there. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a changed woman now."
Sometimes though, when you live in a big city, even in a small town, having a beer, having a drink is quite normal.
Yes, it's like the culture. It is.
That's what people do.
But the hard thing in Auckland is you never just have one. It turns into 3 o'clock in the morning, then it turns into an email to your bosses. "Oh my God, I got food poisoning," whatever. It just turns into all this.
Sure, you've seen that one.
No,
to me
I
before.
have, but that was real, and that's where I just thought of it.
Wow.
No, I have seen I got food poisoning.
In this podcast,
No.
Hey?
I really got food poisoning that time.
Right.
That was when I went for the baby shower.
Hey, can you remember what you ate that time? Here's a test.
No, that was the problem, is I ate everything.
It's funny though, you talk about alcohol, you talk about the party girl, but one thing I've noticed about you too as well, since you've been with us, is you love food, which is why we have our own series called The Kai Hunters, but you're just when it comes to food, Miss Kamaea, you're like next level.
I do love food. I actually wore skivvy today to kind of cover my double chin.
I thought you wore it to cover your hickeys.
No. I'm not that type of girl. No.
Okay.
No.
You don't like
I may give those vibes sometimes, but I am not that girl.
You're not into biting at all? No?
No.
Being bitten? No?
That's scary.
Oh,
Don't do that.
Kamaea's not
I'm
into
like, you're
biting
not
or
a
being
dog. Leave it for the dogs.
Hey, I love
That's
it.
disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
But no, yes,
Discussion.
I do love I do love my food. I've actually, since I've moved to Tukurua, I've been there for 11 months now, and I've put on 15 kgs.
Wow.
Yes, I've never actually been this large.
That's like 3 bags of 5 kilo flours.
Is that how much I weigh?
15 kilos.
No, that's how much extra has been put onto my little body.
Just imagine holding a 5 kilo here, 5 kilo here, 5 kilo on your back.
That's only like a quarter of me.
You must be in love. Because, generally, when people put on weight,
I heard.
It's because they're just in love and life's great and who gives a damn?
Yes,
Who
everyone's
loves me?
like, oh, there must be love weight. I'm like, yeah, I'm so in love with my life down there.
Hey.
I'm so lucky I go home every night to my nan who's already cooked dinner. And, my nan, shout out Nana Murray, by the way. I get home, she makes dinner, and if there's no more dinner leftovers for me to take for lunch, she'll cook another dinner and pack it for my lunch for me.
You're lucky.
No, honestly,
I've got to come home one day to your
know.
nan's for lunch. Can you take me to your nan's for lunch one day?
Oh, I can, absolutely should be more than happy.
Because I'd love to meet your nan properly.
Yes,
Find out
she's
where all
funny.
this love comes from. Hey?
Yeah.
Hey? So, while we're talking about love and food, love for food, putting on weight, there is no special man out there in your life?
Maybe.
Hey? Are you going to divulge that on episode 11 of the podcast?
Oh, I might get in trouble.
Oh, get in trouble by who? Hey?
My missus, nah.
Oh, we can't go letting that out the bag then. Hey? We don't want your missus to get upset.
Yeah, she might ground me.
She might.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. Okay, then. Well, if you think in the next, 10, 15 minutes you want to divulge that information, feel free to, because it's a safe space, the podcast.
Yes, it is.
Always a safe space. You can bring up anything on the podcast and,
I'm starting to get a little bit like, now.
Hey,
Should I tell the people?
Hey, this is it. It's about, just imagine that. Once this podcast is out there to the millions and millions
of viewers.
Hey, jingus. Hey, well, can't believe it.
Then the whole world's going to know. The whole
Tell ya.
Oire Tokoroa is going to know.
As they say, the cat will be out the pack.
One day.
Hey?
Might be in the next 15 minutes. Who knows?
Could be. All right. Tell us, bit your whānau. Like, did you grow up in a big family? Did you have heaps of siblings? How did that work?
My whānau. Wow, I love this question. So I grew up with my nan and my papa. So in Mount Ross School, we were 30 pora, and then it went our neighbours who had been our neighbours for 37 years. And then next to them was my dad's sister, and she lived there next to my, her was her sister. So, and then next to her was my dad's first cousin. So around the one block, we all had all our cousins. There was maybe like 15 of us. We grew up from nappies all the way till after high school. And it was amazing. I absolutely loved my childhood. I'll not change anything about it. Because you just have, 15 friends that you get to hang out with, and it was great. Like, you have no milk and you just go jump the fence and grab milk from aunties, or grab eggs from the other aunties. Like, it was never going to the dairy. Nan's always like, go and get some milk from your aunties, or da. And we all used to go to Maungarongo together, and so some mornings there would be like 9 of us squashed into a 5-seater car, and always at this one road my auntie would always go straight through the stop sign, and there was always a cop stop, and he would pull us over and be like, wow, there's like 9 of you. We were like squashed on each other, and yeah, that was the days. It was great.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's literally like living in a marae. Like a village raising a child type thing. Because like you say, everyone's together. You're basically, in everyone's home. You all grow up together. You're sharing eggs, milk, bread. Yeah,
it was really good. It's definitely something I'm grateful for. Like, because I even took with my mates, and they're like, I never realised I was fortunate to have that until I was like senior at school, leaving school. Then when we left school and, all the friends kind of separate, you can't afford to your whānau, and some people don't have that much family. And my mates would be like, "Far, you always got people to hang out with, or like your cousin's always there. There's people your age." I was like, wow, yeah, that's actually cool, isn't it? Like,
it
I
is.
never noticed. It was just a normal thing for me. But I feel like that's normal in a Māori family, is having like 12 siblings.
Yeah, well, it's pretty normal in an island family as well.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Polynesians, I tell you.
I mean, there was no Sky back in the days on
No.
Marae or in the islands, right? You know.
What did you used to do before Sky and, phones?
Look, to be honest, I remember Sky. I think Sky came in my early 20s.
Wow.
And Sky came along, but we were like, we played a lot of sport, ball all the time, a lot of ball, a lot of basketball. Ball was our game, a lot of golf back in the younger days.
Yeah.
But, my mum was Samoan, so, we had to study as well and, be good boys.
Yeah. I don't know
all that.
that.
Sort of stuff. So we could play, but we had to sort of, we were strict as well. So best of both worlds, to be honest. But, the way you talk about it, I can understand that because a lot of Pacifica families live like that as well too. But instead of them buying 4 houses, they just lived in the one.
Yeah. Well, there was like heaps of us in our one house. Like, every house had heaps of people. Like, at one point, I think it was like me and my brother staying in the one room, like, because then you have your cousins who stay with you, and especially when you're staying in your nan's house, like, that was the annoying thing about being in my nan's house is our siblings, we were with my nan, and then, my auntie's houses, they had their kids, and, everyone eats at their nan's, and nan feeds everyone, so all the kids would come over, they'll eat our biscuits, and I'd be like, stop eating our biscuits, that's for our lunch, but because it's nan's house, they're allowed to, and I was like, no, it's not just Nan's house. She bought those biscuits for us. So we'd end up going to school with like the, what's those Crispies and,
Oh, Crispies is all right.
They are,
it's better than super wines or vanilla wines.
Yeah, see, and those ones, we'd end up going with that.
What about the Arrow biscuit? Remember the oval ones? They were like the Arrow milk. Was it Arrow milk biscuits?
No, but the worst was like the mint and those like brown ones like this.
Oh, the malt ones.
Yeah.
They were nice ones.
No.
Hey, the malt ones, they were the expensive ones.
I used to be a cookie time girl.
Oh, so
my nan never bought anything expensive.
Cookie time?
The one thing she did always buy was real Nutella. She always brought the proper Nutella. Cookie time, and then the like wheelie ones with the squiggly. There was like a few things that were like top tier branding.
You had a real good upbringing, man. What's the closest I got to Nutella back in my day? Actually, it didn't even exist. I think it was, peanut butter. That was sort of the closest.
Oh, yeah, see, but that would be, on the non-pay week, would be peanut butter. But peanut butter and jam on a toast, stop her. That's amazing.
Man.
What was your toast combination?
To be honest, when I grew up, it was probably spaghetti on toast.
Oh.
We don't really have, we went sort of, so it was spaghetti on toast and spaghetti sandwiches for school.
I love spaghetti sandwiches.
Stop it.
Did you know every time I tell people, they're like, what's your favourite sandwich? I'm like, spaghetti sandwich. They're like, that's so wrong.
I remember we used to go to school, spaghetti sandwiches, baked bean sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, baked bean.
The Pākehā kids, they were so like, just besotted by the fact that these island boys would come to school with, our spaghetti sandwiches, baked bean sandwiches.
Yeah.
They'd swap their luncheon sandwiches with us.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd come with like luncheon sandwiches. We were like, oh, bro, we wish we... And we'd just swap all the time because they just loved eating our spaghetti sandwiches, our baked bean sandwiches. And we were like, bro, you can eat them all you want, mate. That's a poor man sandwich.
We have that all the time.
Oh, you can have it, bro. We'll have your luncheon. But, and in saying that, like both my parents worked, had an awesome upbringing, but it was just what you needed to do to get somewhere, to get your family to where you needed to get to,
Yeah.
If you didn't have to waste the money or spend it,
then
get
you
saved.
don't. Yeah, absolutely.
So, no, that's interesting, Miss Kamaea. Let me ask you another question. Were you out the gate when you were young?
I've always been out the gate.
Always been out the gate.
And it's because there's about 11 of us with my last name, and I'm the only one who's a girl. Like, so I've just this.
So you got 10 boys.
Yeah.
You're the only girl.
Yeah. I am the only girl. There was probably like 2 of us girls growing up. So yeah, I've just been a princess my whole life, to be honest. Like, no one was like, I was always protected. So, I could like be running my mouth and no one would ever really do anything to me because they'll get in trouble. But I try to really tone that down when I'm out in public when they're not with me. Someone might jab me and I'll have to fun too, and show them my
How
martial
do you
arts.
think? How do you think your girlfriend Stephanie will go with meeting your 10 brothers? Oh, did I just say that? Oh,
Did you just say my girlfriend's name?
jingus. Anyway, just
No,
just forget that.
honestly, my honest opinion,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you haven't taken Stephanie yet?
No, I have. It's like been twice, and it's like,
and what do they think of Stephanie?
and that's the worst thing about having boy
10
brothers
brothers.
and cousins is they don't even listen, think, see. You know, they just have their own opinion, and it stays like that probably for the next 3 years. And if I'm still with Stephanie for maybe 5 years, then they might start being like, oh, okay, he's cool.
But that's true. That you're the only girl.
Did I just say he?
Hey, is Stephanie a shim?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're starting to. We've gone from Stephanie being a girl.
Well, is that 15
now
minutes
Stephanie's a he. Now Stephanie's a shim.
Yeah, it's a shit.
All right. Okay. Interesting. No wonder why they're looking quite weirdly at Stephanie, because they're sort of unsure what he is, whether he's a he, she.
No, I'm unsure.
You're unsure? Kamaea, what are you?
I'm all of the above.
Hey? She's out the gate, this girl.
Yeah, I am out the
She's
gate.
out the gate, whānau. Way out the gate.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to figure out where we're at in the conversation, just rewind it. Just keep rewinding it, listen to it over, rewind it back. You might actually be
It's
able
going to
to
be like
you
that.
know.
Yeah, pick up on what we're on about because
Hey.
we're going here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, I tell you, 10 brothers though. Of course they'll be protective over there.
Yeah, like as
On
soon
the
as I
sis.
told them, they're like, don't bring Shim here. Don't bring Shim here. I'm like, he's just so mean. Da, 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 da. And then I bring Shim the first time that Shim meets my family. And, you know, we're playing card games while we're drinking. And my cousin, who's like really, really protective and is tough, he's like talking to me and he's like, I nominate Shim. And I was like, Shim's got a name. And he's like, no, I nominate Shim. And I'm like, Shim's got a name, but would never say the name. And was just like, you know, saying, that person, you. I was like, you're so rude, John.
So why didn't Shim go, bruh, let's step out front, sort this out, eh? Was Shim not strong enough to say that?
No, that's
Oh, what
not
the
on the
heck is
first
going
time.
on?
Not on the first time.
Mate, first time, second time, fifth time, step your ass outside.
Shim is respectful.
Hey?
And I already warned Shim about that. I'll see you. No, because then I'll be getting in the middle, and like I said, I'll be bringing my martial arts up in there, and you don't want to see that.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, well,
Yeah.
good luck to Shim.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck to Shim.
We may need it.
But, you know, Shim's got to stand strong.
Absolutely.
If he loves you, I love her.
Shim, I'm going to make you
I love her.
listen to this and listen to that advice.
She's the girl of my dreams. I love her. How dare you make me feel like this?
I really love that accent.
Hey? I
Keep-
love
keep
her
it,
with
keep
all
it.
my heart. I'm going to marry her. We're going to have kids.
Kids.
20
We're going to have
kids.
kids. No, 15.
Oh, 15 kids.
Yeah. I don't know when I'm going to have time to have those, but
Don't you ever
It's the plan.
disrespect my honor again. I kill you.
is that how you do it?
So, well, generally we don't say anything. We just do it.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
No. Don't take
hey,
that advice. Shim.
Generally it's like a... Nah. What's that over there? Nah.
No, because then I'll be stuck and I'll be like, bye, Shim.
Can you invite
You
me to
shouldn't
your
have
next
done
one?
that.
Like, I'd love to come to you, you know, your next whānau get together with Shim. I just love it. Let's take along a camera crew. That would be awesome. Hey?
Then you can get a face to Shim.
The Kai Hunters.
Yes.
The Kai Hunters on the road.
On the road.
On
At
the
Kamaea's
road.
house.
Hey? Today, the Kai Hunters, we're at Kamaea's whānau gathering. Oh, Shim. We'll just blur Shim's face. What do you reckon?
I think that would be lovely.
Just scramble it, change Shim's voice.
And like clothes.
Oh.
Because I think those would.
Oh. Oh, what do you reckon, producer? Am I getting a yeah, she's getting
She's like, I don't want to go there.
because I'd love to meet your 10, bros who are all, and just, rip them, carry on.
No,
mate,
they're
carry
really
on.
lovely. They're really lovely. It's just, because it's my partner. They're really tough. But
How
they're
do I say that? My partner.
yes, my Shim.
That's her partner. Ah.
Yes,
Wailo.
you protective brothers. We all know how protective brothers are.
All right. Tell me 3 cool things you've done with your family.
3 cool things I've done with my family.
And as long as they're cool to you, that's all that matters. 3 cool things.
Every trip we've gone up north, FFM, Pangaru, Deutz, always cool, always wholesome, especially now that my nan's buried up there. It just hits different. Another cool thing, we don't do much, just hanging out with each other. That's probably the coolest thing is, well, now that we don't all live in the one area, anytime we do get together, very, very grateful for, because it's, it's like nothing's changed, like old times, and now everyone's having kids, so it's even crazier. But yeah, nothing extraordinary.
I'm going to jump onto that comment. You mentioned kids. You said 15. Were you serious?
Yeah.
15?
Well,
when are you going to start?
Maybe like 9. Maybe like
9 to begin with? And then we'll
and then if like I have time,
6.
For the next 6.
I hope Shim's got a good job. Where does Shim
same. Work? Shim works for himself.
For himself?
Yeah.
Wow. Was he a drug dealer? Shh. Well, you can deal good drugs.
Yeah, that one.
Like, tea leaves.
Tea leaves?
Coffee beans.
Are
they got
drugs?
caffeine. Caffeine's a drug.
Oh, yeah, caffeine.
Caffeine's a drug.
Yeah. No, ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen? That's a prescribed drug. Codeine.
Yeah. No, his job's really, really good.
Really good job. Is Shim good at it?
Lovely at it, actually.
Yeah? All right.
Just recently went into a new position, actually.
Recently? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Shim did.
I like that. 9 kids. 9 kids.
Yeah. I hope to not start by 25. After 25 would be lovely. Anything before, I'll cry.
So you're just going to be a stay-at-home mum?
Absolutely not. This is going to be a stay-at-home Shim.
Oh.
I'm going to have that baby, breastfeed, when it can, see ya.
Later, G.
I'll see you at 6 p.m.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Let's carry on. First 3 babies. Let's go girl,
definitely.
boy.
Oh, please not 2
girl,
girls.
Girl, boy. Because I got, my first 2 were 2 girls.
How was that?
It was the greatest thing that could have happened to me.
Wow.
I got grey quite early, as you can see. It's just carried on. But hey, I love my girls. But anyway, let's go girl, boy. What would you name them? Let's talk baby names.
Oh.
First girl, what would you name her?
First girl.
Would it be Kamaea?
No, because there's 4 of us already.
Oh, well, maybe you could change it up.
I'm thinking...
Kamaea.
Kamaea.
Or Kamaea.
Jesus. No, my friend used to say...
Kamaea, I like
my
that
friends used to call me, shout out Tatiana inside, they used to say, and I was like, nah. Don't ever me. But it was actually really good.
I love the way she does it. Can we get a close up when she does that?
Because I'm pretty sometimes.
You can't be.
So it was really fitting.
I just had this memory about but you're not that
No, I'm honestly,
you can say sensible things.
Behind all of the, out the gate stuff that you see, I'm really clever.
Yeah. It's a bit like last Friday when I walked in the studio and you said to me, you remember what you said to me?
No, did we say something at the same time?
No, I walked in and I looked at you and you said, does it smell funky in here?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, hey, what made you say that? Does it smell funky in here? I said, what made you say that? Oh, just tell by the look on your face. Oh, yeah, it is actually. It's real funky in here.
No, but now I'm starting to think, what funky smell are you talking about?
Funk,
But no, I just, from the way you walked in, you were like...
Yeah, because you know me, I'm that guy.
Like, something's going on with his nostrils.
Good smells always follow this guy. So what's going on here? But I think you blamed Te You said Te was stink.
I do. Sorry, Te.
He blamed you, Te She said it was you. Tell us about your Māoridom, your Tihe Māoriora.
My Tihe Māoriora. It's been a bit of, I've been on a bit of a journey with that, actually. I learned Te Reo Māori when I was, young as little kid, because I went to Kura Kaupapa to speak Māori every day. But then I moved over to mainstream school, and from there I kind of started losing my reo. And because back then I remember my nan always used to say to me, kōrero Māori at home, why don't you speak Māori at home? You speak Māori all day at school, why don't you speak Māori at home? And when I think about it now, I'm like, I think it's because other than at school, no one spoke it, so it felt unnormal to speak Māori, but I wish back then I just would have listened, because the times have changed now, and there's a lot more people speaking Te Reo Māori in their everyday lives, it's really cool and it's amazing to see. And now that I, went to mainstream school and kind of lost my reo and stopped speaking, I'm on a journey of reclaiming my reo.
How's it going? It sounds like you're doing really well now.
It is actually, it's good. I can kōrero Te Reo Māori, I can have a full-on conversation in Te Reo Māori, but it's just not at the standard that I want it to be. And I'm not confident enough to just have a, all-day conversation in Māori, which is the goal, because the future is to, when I have my first child, that I am at that level so that their first language is Te Reo Māori and the language that we are speaking at home is Te Reo Māori.
That's cool though, because I know for being brought up Samoan, I know Samoans really push hard around teaching their kids how to speak the language at a very young age.
Absolutely.
And, it's cool to see a lot of Māori at the moment doing it. And, you're now on a platform which gives you that opportunity to spruce up your Māori, get better and better and better at it.
Yes.
And to do something you enjoy. And you pay for it.
And yes, and it is really cool. I actually love that about this job, is being able to teach Te Reo Māori through the radio. Tune in, by the way, just going to plug 95.7, 93.2, 90.6. We do Māori on the Rise and via breakfast. But also we do Raukaha, which is from 11 to 2 if you want to tune into that as well. Where we only speak Māori, so that's great.
Love it. If you could give some advice to, because we don't have too many wahines come through on the podcast. That's going to change though as we build up to Christmas. But to all the young Māori wahine, or just young wahine in general who are watching, do you have some advice for them if they're sort of trying to find their identity, trying to find their way through life? Do you have a bit of advice you could share with them?
Advice, finding their way and just in their everyday life?
Everyday life, whether it be, finding out who they are, finding out what they want to be, finding out more about their culture. Is there some sort of advice you can give them? What do you do to sort of get through life daily? Because I know people will watch this and think, man, this chick's got it all sorted, man. She's got a
I try.
Him, shim, mim, sim. What sort of advice would you give them, Miss Kamaea?
I would say just always try to go back home when you can. Because it's not hard. And honestly, for someone whose home is so far away, like Pangaru all the way up north, for anyone who actually lives within their town and, your Maria's up the road, your Urupa's up the road, keep going back. Like, that's a luxury to live up the road or to live in your hometown where you come from, because some other people have to travel miles, and with the fuel prices, that is not happening. So, just that, and just being true to yourself, really, not worrying about what anyone else has to say, because at the end of the day, what they say isn't really going to matter or affect what you carry on doing every day. So beating yourself up,
matter or what?
It doesn't matter what, it's not going to affect you, or it's not going to matter what you do every single day. You just stop my motivational speech.
No, I love it, man. I love it.
No, but for real, honestly, I always tell everyone, just be you.
Because how I describe you? I describe you as a fresh Māori.
I'll take that
Seriously.
as a compliment, honestly.
I do, because you remind me of the girl that's just come straight off the marae.
Absolutely. Do you know how there's always that 7-year-old girl who's just oblivious to what anyone says? I've been that girl since I was little.
That's how I describe you, because people they ask me, man, what's it like having Kamaea work for you? I said, she's my gangster girl that's rocked straight up out of the marae, straight into the studio. In front of the camera, in front of the microphone, what you see is what you get. And I love that, because that's how that's how I think Māori girls should be.
Yeah.
Why try and jump in front of the camera and be Beyonce? Because you're not.
No, exactly. But I can be her.
Yeah, no doubt. But I mean, just be proud of where you come from.
Absolutely. And I think that's the coolest thing. So much people, who are low-key out the gate, they tame themselves because of, what everyone else would think. And it's just there's not many people like this, and it makes you unique,
Yeah,
And as long as you be that courageous, out the gate person, respectfully and with love, that's where I feel like people are you're so amazing. Because if you're being courageous and out the gate, but you're an ugly person inside, then you're just ugly.
I agree totally.
But if you're always giving, you're just always uplifting, and you're just a genuine person, then you're gonna be cool anyways, whether you're loud or you're quiet.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like you mentioned, I was down the coast last week for a funeral. A couple of days, and then when I watch my nieces and nephews, it's home. It's just normal. And I sit there and I go, could I live like this? Probably not. Because I'm from Tokoroa, man, you know.
Yeah.
But when I watch them, it's just cool, man. It's just cool how they just, it's home. They just do what they do.
Yeah. Not worried about anything.
You know, here's me like, I wouldn't walk over there with bare feet. I'd put on my shoes. But, you know, it's just home to them. And it was funny because my baby said to me, oh, Dad, how close is the nearest McDonald's? And I says, well, it's about, 50 minutes to an hour to Portuguese. And then it's another sort of, 45 and 50 minutes down the road to Whakatane where McDonald's is. So it's a couple of hours to Macca's. And she says, well, what do people on the coast do?
Eat seafood.
Wow. They run out and jump into the ocean, get their food, they live off the land. And it was funny because I was reading my niece's status just midweek. Kids who wanted to drive in for some takeaways. She says, no, a couple more days, marae food, then we'll go in, go on and we can, eat it. And I mean, everyone misses takeaways, but that's how you live out there,
Yeah.
And people, it's home. People live off the land, people live off the sea. It's, I don't know if I could do it, but hey.
I've always wanted to. I didn't think I could, but I've always wanted to give it a go. I think I would actually really enjoy it. Shim, that's the type of lifestyle Shim wants.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what it is for me? It's how dark it is out there. Like even
Is you
driving
scared?
along. No.
Oh.
It's like, when you drive along in town, it's quite, because I'm a little bit blind, right? So during the day, during the night, it's like 50 Ks. 50 Ks is like, because it's just
they'd
dark.
be driving horses out there.
We've seen plenty of that. But yeah, because it's dark on the coast, because there's no street lights, there's no, it's just dark and it's, but no, it's a beautiful place, lovely to be at.
Absolutely.
And I know where my nieces and nephews are from, their cemetery there at the Whitianga Marae is beautiful, right on the top of the...
Yes, your photo you sent was
right
stunning. Great weather you had.
Beautiful. So, but hey, if it's home, it's home, eh? That's what it's all
absolutely.
About.
Running on your feet is normal, honestly. I used to do that on my backyard on rocks until I put on 20 kgs and I was heavier and it was sore.
Man, so that means 35. Man, you must have been a little stick.
No, when I tell you I was little.
Man.
I've never been this large. See, I call it large.
Why don't you just call it voluptuous?
I like large.
You like large?
Yeah, because I'm pretty large.
Well, voluptuous sounds...
What is voluptuous? Is that like plumpish, like filled in?
Voluptuous is like a very, very posh way of saying...
Fat.
No. And, and fat for me is like PHAT. You fat, man.
You fat, yeah, you fat. You got fat punda. You know what punda is?
Just coming out? No, I do. Well, actually, I do. But
yes, you got fat punda.
Yeah, that's PHAT. Don't
I love that PHAT.
Fat girl. All right, Miss Kamaea.
Yes.
I know you're a busy girl, and you got to be in places.
I do,
as we both do. So before we wrap things up, episode 11 of the podcast, and it was only a nice brief catch up, so we leave people wanting more, right? So if there's a part 2 down the line, there's a part 2, right? Maybe then Shim will be out the Shim and we can let everyone know who Shim is.
Comment for part 2.
Hey? Oh, I love it. Anyway, let's play a game, eh? And generally when I play a game, with my guests.
Can I guess what game we're playing?
What do you think we're playing?
Are we going to play 21?
No, it's only me and you.
Cool. No, well, I was just checking.
Do you want to play 21 or just me
because
and
that
you?
would be impossible. Well, what was your first game?
No. Well, if we were 3 of us, we'd play 21.
Oh, yeah. What game were you originally thinking?
21. I'm sure some of the whānau out there know 21. No, it's an easy game. It's an easy game where I, mention a couple of things. You pick one or the other.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Really simple.
Cool. Love
nice
simple.
And clean. Mm-hmm. All right. So, let's play that with you, huh? Okay. You ready?
There's always a twist to your games, but
always
I'm ready.
Always a twist
I'm
to
ready.
my games. I love games.
Oh.
Let's just cut that out, eh? Make sure you cut that out. I know her, she'll leave it in.
Leave it in. Ha-da-da-ta-ta-ta.
She'll leave it in just to be cheeky. Bloody cheeky Samoan Māoris. Hey. Anyway, let's play a game, all right? So the millions and millions of people can get to know a little bit more about you.
Cool.
Okay? So I'll mention 2, 3 things. You pick one or the other, okay?
All right.
Or the third one. Really easy?
Easy.
Okay. Let's start off with burgers, all right? Steak burger, bacon burger, all right? Or cheeseburger.
Steak.
Really?
100% medium red hot.
Do you got to go to a certain place though? Like, because sometimes, no disrespect to anybody. But sometimes you go to a takeaway place and you think,
No, you don't go to takeaway places because you know how when you get a steak fried rice and it's like not really steak?
Yeah.
That's the steak in your burger.
yeah, I know. So
You want
that's
to go
what I
to
mean.
a restaurant.
So you're talking about a restaurant quality.
Well, honestly, the best steak burger comes from your own kitchen. Then you
Okay.
get to decide what.
So can you tell us what
goes in
from your kitchen, if you're making your own steak burger?
Oh, steak. Have to put mushrooms in there. Love me some red onions with the steak, cheese. Yeah, that would be that if I've got creamy mushrooms in there. But if I don't have creamy mushrooms, have to have lettuce, tomatoes, all that good stuff. All the sauces in the world, mayo, tomato sauce, whatever you want.
All right. Do you
just to experiment what's in the fridge, chuck it in there.
do you get your bun and sort of drown it in butter and then fry it before you?
No, I just
No?
like to pop my bun in the microwave, bring it out, it's nice and fluffy, soft.
I reckon though you should get some melted butter. Soak it
Crispy.
in
I
the
don't
bun.
like the
Oh,
crispy
you don't?
bun, no.
What's the butter taste I was sort of going for?
It's because I grew up, just that whole,
You're the typical Māori, just a
yes,
fluffy
fresh bread, like that
Eh?
tank loaf that you put in cream, that's it.
tank loaf. Wow, tank loaf. All right, okay. Let's go along. Let's move on. While we're talking about burgers, let's go to fish and chips. Would you rather have teriki, gurnard, or a snapper? You're going to say
A
snapper. aren't you?
snapper, absolutely.
Hey, you're a snapper girl.
Absolutely.
Actually, speaking about our fish and chips, I tried a awesome place in Cambridge a couple of days ago. Fish and chips, Leamington Seafood or Leamington Takeaways. I don't know if it's seafood and takeaways, but I went there because I had a little bit of time to kill. Thought I'd go there and get some fish and chips. I went there. I thought I'd get snapper. They brought the snapper out, fresh, weighed it,
Yum.
did the old well done, crisp, and it was like bang on perfect with half scoop of chips and the salt. I was thinking of you because the salt was just. And I sat outside the shop. They had table and cheese. They said it was just.
Everything
Bang.
spectacular. We're going to have to do a part 2 of that
Aye.
fish and chips because there's been a lot of comments about other
Yeah.
fish and chip shops.
And I know
here.
that's not a Rokawa. It's Cambridge a Rokawa. It's not, is it?
I
But
don't
anyway,
think so, no.
we might make a special trip to Leamington Takeaways because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know it cost me $25 for 2 snapper and half a, because they
That's
were
a
nice.
snapper though.
They were nice, juicy, and like it was just like it wasn't. It just.
Yeah. Well, just quickly before you move on with the game, snapper or flounder?
Oh, look, I'm honest. I'd go flounder.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, I'd go flounder.
Great, cool.
I'm flounder because I'm a real island boy.
And that means?
No, like my parents love snapper, but my parents love flounder too.
Yeah.
So my mum used to, bring the flounder home, fry them really hot oil.
Butter.
Well, she'd use hot oil, then you use flour, eat it, and big rice. Oh, just
Yeah. It's really
and
good.
some of the flounders were like big,
And you can eat both sides.
Oh, okay. Let's get to the hard questions, Kamaea.
Hard questions.
Scrunch, wrap, or fold?
Scrunch, wrap, or fold?
Yeah.
I don't even understand.
Well, you got to pick one. Scrunch, wrap,
Scrunch,
or fold.
Wrap.
You're a rapper.
Wrap.
All right. From behind or underneath?
Oh, behind.
Wow.
Faster.
Faster?
Nah.
Why is it that a lot of males like going underneath?
Because they're in control and they can, I don't know, it's like they have the power or whatever.
It's like they need a backstop.
Oh, yeah, or they're just lazy. Nah. I don't care, I can't see. Just keep going.
I like it. Oh, that just lost my chain of thought again. All right. A couple of really hard ones to in the
Oh, we love
in
hard.
the game, okay? Clean shaven or hair?
Give it dirty. No, I reckon do you know you got those cats and then they shave their hair off and it's like scary? Yeah, scary. I'm like, fuck, what happened to you? Just leave it normal. Come natural.
All right. Second to last question. Top hole or bottom hole?
Bottom. Stay at the bottom. Wait, what's bottom? You stay at the bottom. Do not go behind me. No. That's for the dirty stuff. Like, why would a guy even want to go with there, right? Next minute, I'm just actually, I'm going to be honest. Hopefully my mum doesn't watch this. I actually, I was like, fine, try it. I tried it this one time. It's stupid. It literally feels like you're going to the toilet. I was like, stop. They were like, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know if I'm shitting. Sorry, yeah, maybe too much, but no. Bottom only.
There we go. Love that. Yeah. Love that. So that just basically answers my last question, because, after all of that, I pretty much know what the answer of the last question will be.
Which was?
Which was men, women, or both?
All of the above.
There we go, whānau.
No, I've never woman.
Before we wrap, Miss Kamaea, because, the producer's going to have fun cutting this up. Maybe
sorry,
she won't cut it at all. That's all good. For all your millions and millions of followers, you love working at Reo Vibes?
I do. I'm very, very grateful for this job. When I first moved here, I was just going to go Wiki at Countdown because I moved here for my grandparents. And then, I knew Te Kawa. And then I messaged him, I was like, oi, any jobs at the radio station? And then, I ended up here, and it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, he actually didn't put in a good word for you, to be honest.
Kawa, bae.
Hey, he was useless. It was me. It was me that persisted down that line. Just want to say that quietly.
Thank you.
Hey?
It was great. And I've been really enjoying working here.
That's why I pulled him off the breakfast show, because he didn't plug you when you first came here. He's doing a good job though, Mr. Te Kawa.
No.
Hey? Has he met Shim?
No.
No?
I don't think... Oh, no, I think he already knows Shim.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right. All right, whānau. That is us. That is us done and dusted. Episode 11 of the podcast. Miss Kamaea, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me.
No?
I didn't think I would make it on the famous podcast.
Oh, you never know. You might be asked to fill in one day.
Oh, I tell you won't be disappointed.
Hey? Oh, sure I won't be. Miss Kamaea, you take care, and we'll catch up with you real soon, all right?
Thank you. Love you all.
There
Keep
we have
watching.
Episode 11 of the podcast, whānau, as we wrap up Māori Language Week 2023. My thanks again to Dynasty for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Again, get along, check out their website, dynasty.co.nz. Put in the keyword vibes for a 10% discount. Don't forget to follow us right across all our social platforms. We'll catch you next time on the podcast. I'm Dr. Fresh. Podcast.
Cut that.
Hey?
Just put in, because you're magic people to me. You're magic people to me. Hold your head up high, let your voices shine. Be proud to be Māori. Tēnā koutou, hari wiki o te reo Māori kia tātou katoa. Podcast. Podcast.